Hello and welcome back to Disney's Dreamlight Valley. I hope you are all doing well out there. I wanted to just take you on a bit of a quick tour of the valley and show you some of the changes that I've made. And the actual inspiration behind this is the fact that two new characters, one that's been hinted and one that we know for definite is coming, are going to be coming to the valley in the next couple of months. So on December the 5th, we'll be getting the character of Jack Skellington from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and possibly in January, maybe February, not yet quite sure, but there is a suggestion we'll be getting more characters in a bit, not every 2 months, so to speak, and that is one certain Daisy Duck. And I, for one, am looking forward to especially Daisy Duck coming into it, purely because of the fact it would complete the Mickey and Friends, more or less, because the only thing we'll be missing is Goofy. So, no, not Goofy, the dog. Well, I've forgotten the dog's name, but it'll probably come to me. But anyway, so let's take you out on a tour of the valley so you can see my changes, and you'll see them as I actually come out, some of them. So as you can see here, I basically got rid of some of this brick fencing, and I've added, as you can see on here in the middle and over there, some moss covered willow trees, which I've discovered actually does make the actual game lag a little bit. So, and I did actually see somebody say that trees do make the game lag, but they were not specific about which particular trees. So, this is probably not going to stay the way you see it. It may well change. At this point, I don't know what will actually happen. So as you can see here, Minnie is still here, just as Mickey is still over there, but I have moved Goofy here, and the fairy godmother has gone as well. So just go down here quickly. As you can see, in certain areas I've now built some of these critter houses. I've made individual food bowls and things like that for them. Kind of hope that might put a bit of a spring back in it. I noticed these two have been sitting up against the brick wall or up against the fencing, so yeah, so you'll see what's it those there, but there isn't much difference really going to be here, I'm going to be honest. So we do have this here, this garden, which I have shown you before, but you'll notice that there is one thing missing, and I will take you up to that to show you what that is in a moment. I'll take you up now to here. So most of you all know that I moved Wally here purely because of the fact that he was partly in a deserted area when we found him. Give him a little water feature here, but I've removed the majority of the water features I had here. And as you can see, Scar has moved, his house is gone. So this is a planned area that I'm going to make for Jack Skellington. I know some people have said, oh, he would be better somewhere else, but from what I can gather, the movie, not so much the actual storyline is that dark, but, and I probably may be corrected, but certainly the movie itself comes across as quite dark. And what I mean is in the sense that it comes across dark, in that it's not, mainly bright in the animation and that kind of stuff. So as you come down here, as we go through the rib cage of an elephant, you'll see this is where I've moved Scar. Now I think I've discovered that you can actually give these birds any flowers. It doesn't actually have to be what's on... Oh, it gave me a cherry. Specifically what's on this area here. So yes, this is where I've moved Scar, and the fantastic thing about it is that when you look at it from behind up the top, it looks like it's actually integrated into the rock formation, unless of course you look over it. Just over here I've moved this Sweetwater feature here, and I might even put some trees around this area to make it look like this is where Timon and Pumbaa and Simba, as they grew up, was living. I haven't quite really decided yet on that, so but I think I will make it look more interesting. As you can see, I've moved Pride Rock around slightly just to make it look more straight, but it's both the characters are able to get in and out. One thing I've noticed, and I did notice the other day, is this very weird glitch. These plants actually up there, I think they're meant to actually be on that rock there. Again, probably you might have seen just from up here, see from here there's the ravens just there, and then there's the birds just here, which they're all got their own bird feeders and things like that. So now we're going to go up into the Forest of Allah, and this is where I've made the biggest changes. So when you come up here, first of all, the first thing you see is Beast's Palace, and then when you turn to my right, you will see Fairy Godmother's Pumpkin House, and you'll see Mushroom Manor, which is one of the skins you can get for your main house. But if you are not aware, you can actually use these in another biome as an actual house. And if we go into it, you can see that's exactly what I was doing. Now, there was a glitch when I was trying to put this out a couple of weeks or so ago, but they have since fixed that. The difference is with this is you only get one floor. You do not get 12 floors like you do in the main one. Hence the reason why my main one is still down in the plaza. So I've decided to give this the look of a tangled look because it is a mushroom, and I thought wood would probably be what would be more appropriate. So in here I'm just going through the phases of making a kitchen, and I want to sort of get my sister's thoughts on that. But in here, you go in here, this is my room, a mixture of tangled and other things. So I've got my pirate outfit over here, and as you can see, all these books and everything, and that. So basically this is meant to be, when I was a kid, this is where I did, or when your character was a kid, this is where they did all their experimentations and that kind of thing. And as you can see, I've got tried to keep it as in tune with the what's it. So this flooring here is actually the flooring from the Sword and the Stone, but I might, again with my sister's actual thoughts on it, get possibly change this. And if you actually just look over here, this actually moves by itself, which I find is really interesting. And I've got the chalice there as well. So yeah, so this is still a work in progress, so to speak. So when you get to this bit here, everything changes because this is essentially the main domain of Beast and Bell. So they are the keepers of this orb. And I've again given them some water features there. 2 lions, obviously the hedges, which are all, this is mainly all Beauty and the Beasts related. I do know that obviously these water features aren't, but again, I just wanted to add a little touch of, somebody would say, finesse to it. So around here, just got the harp and the area where they sit to eat when they're feeling very romantic. And the only thing that's around here is the mirror for Beast. We did as part of this quest, but you'll see there is, you know, I've kind of given them like a limit. So there is a garden here. So this was actually inspired by their latest challenge. So what you see here is base combination of base greenhouse, flower greenhouse, some flowers, and obviously the little vegetable patch. So the reason I did this is because I wanted it to look more like a garden. And what I'll do now is I'll show you the actual submission I made. So this basically, as you can see, is the challenge. Mandatory is 3 green items to wear, 1 hat, doesn't matter what the hat look is, 3 delicate items as well, and I managed to submit that quite well. Suggested was brown and calm as well. So I'm guessing that, you know, if you didn't have a lot of green or delicate outfits, you could go for some brown and that would perhaps make up the delicate especially. Quite a few people actually did do that. So this was my submission, and the reason I've submitted this is because purely when I did it, I didn't have a lot of green clothing in terms of the male character that I am. So I asked my sister, who very kindly designed her own character, and she allowed me to use it to submit this. And as you can see, I managed to do it as I was trying to replicate it just now, like that. So it looks like it's in. So, and essentially the idea behind it is that Wally is taking our character on a tour of the garden and showing basically the character, my sister's character, what he and Beast have been doing in the little garden that they've got together. And the dress that's being worn is actually Ariel's dress. It's got green earrings on as well as green gloves. So this is basically, it was in the evening that I more or less done this, but believe it or not, and although you can't tell, it was actually raining at the time in the game. You might be able to see what looks like little drip marks going down the screen, but that's actually the rain. So, but the one thing that I didn't bank on, and I was surprised at getting, was Wally actually standing behind some of the vegetables there, and it looked like he was actually doing, you know, something with the vegetables. in terms of, you know, tending to them, that kind of thing. So that's the story behind that submission, and my sister has given me full permission to use her character again should I fall short of some clothing things. But what I want to probably do in the future is probably get some inspiration from people that submitted things, and that possibly right, so this area here is another change. So basically I've given Elsa her own fancy garden area. So this is a kind of extension really from Beast's area in a way, but this is Elsa's bit of domain. And over here we have the bigger vegetable area, as you can see. Those I'll have to pull up soon and put in the new ones. The idea behind this is that I actually had 28 ingredients of every single one that I could put away in those boxes over there, and I wouldn't keep running, or if I started running low on certain ones I could grow them and then put them in like that. So give this little kind of like wooden entrance way here for Elsa as well. So the other difference I did make, which I will show you, is if when you go up here, you'll see that I've got Anna and Elsa's palace up here. Mainly now, obviously, the home of Kristoff, Olaf, and Anna, who technically now, from the second movie, is Queen Anna. So, yeah, so that's what's that. So I'm probably going to take the Christmas trees and that down after Christmas is over. Probably these things as well. I might take these out. I haven't decided yet. Oh, I don't think it's one of the foxes I need to feed, but I've already got put away. I've already put away the salmon. Right, so one thing I discovered is that if you're ever short of iron ingots, feeding the foxes salmon gives you just that. So hopefully you'll find that useful. So those are the updates to and changes I've made to my valley so far, and there will obviously be more to come, because obviously we've got on the 5th of December, we will be getting the release of the expansion pack, as well as the update that will include Jack Skellington. Now, just to emphasize that the Jack Skellington update is free. It will not cost you anything more than what you've paid for if you've got the Founders Pack. So basically, anybody that's bought the Founders Pack up to the 4th of December, midnight, whatever time zone you're in, then you will get any of the freebie stuff that people who have bought the Cozy Edition, the digital, not digital, the physical Cozy Edition of the game that comes with it. So you'll get like a cottage and that kind of thing, as well as extra moonstones and that as well. I might actually buy the physical edition for the PlayStation, because if I can upgrade it to specifically those beforehand, I will get the extra moonstones as well as get the extra sort of like get the skins and things like that, and all I'll probably get, I would imagine at the time, is the actual, probably just the moonstones that comes with the also, and I believe you only get that when you buy or purchase some of it you'll only get with the expansion pack. Other bits you will get just given to you free of charge by the developers if you've already bought the founders pack. So should state that the expansion pack is optional. It's only chapter 2 in the story of Disney's Dreamlight Valley, which involves Jafar as the character, so he will probably, as far as I'm aware, he'll be the only one I think you will need to purchase. The expansion pack will purchase that character. There is a hint that Wally's girlfriend Eve will be coming into the game, which I think you can only get as well through the expansion pack. So there are 1 or 2 characters I think you'll only be able to get, and it's going to be in another island which is called Ely Island. The island, Ely Island, I believe it's called. So at this point, I probably suspect the next time you see me play this, assuming it will allow me, and I will have to do some looking into this, upgrade this to the Cozy Edition, then I will show you exactly what I got from that. If not, there'll probably be nothing left from this until I get the expansion pack and obviously the Jack Skellington updates. I mean, I am checking it every day just to make sure there's no quests that have, triggered for Skeleton Island, or Skull Island, I should say, which is believed possibly might be what will introduce one of the characters or some other characters into it. But obviously, if you're playing the game already, you'll probably know a lot of this possibly already. And if you're just here because you're just watching, which I appreciate very much, then I hope you look forward to those new villagers coming, and also the actual expansion pack as well, because I will be getting that. In terms of costs, I know it's going to cost around about in the region of about $30, just under, in America. And that over here it will probably be around about the £25 to £27 mark, which is only slightly, which I'd be quite, because it'll be slightly more than what I paid for this originally. But the way I've decided to look at it is something that was pointed out by somebody, ironically, on Twitter, which is now X, that you have to look at it from how many hours you will get out of it compared to what you pay. So what they do is they think about it of, if for every day, what I get out of it for a dollar a day, that kind of thing. So I played over 300 plus hours on this so far. Not as much as a lot of other people I know, but then I can't get on here all the time. When I do, it's just limited, and it's only when I do the couple of the updates and things like that, or I'm doing something like this where I'm maybe just sort of like showing you the new things that I'm coming up with, inspirations and things like that I'm coming up with. So I won't babble on much longer, or I won't keep talking much longer. So I'm just back to uploading the story that I started of Hogwarts Legacy of Marcus Aurelius Prince, and I will be getting some new artwork, which is in progress at the moment, from a very lovely lady who I'm not going to mention by name without her consent. But I'm going to do a little, I'll be doing something about the artwork and that, and what a wonderful job she's done. In fact, you can see that some of that lovely artwork that she's done on my official avatar and YouTube header. She has done an amazing job, and those two the two short artwork she's doing will be centered around both the Hogwarts Legacy character and my Hogwarts Mystery character, both of whom I've incorporated into a storyline of how they're both related, and that will be something that I will go into as well. So what I will do is ask the lady's consent if I can call her, address her by name, because obviously you intend to purchase from her, you'll find out her name at some point anyway. If she's watching this, because I know she does she is subscribed to my channel, thank you very much for the artwork that you're doing. I really appreciate it. I certainly hope you feel much better than you have been, and I look forward to doing that piece on what you've done for me and that as well. And I think I'll also probably be putting in at the end of the week requests for some artwork for my mother's Hogwarts Legacy avatar as well, so as a Christmas present. So I'm hoping that I'm not going to be keeping her too busy. But yes, so if you are watching, the lovely lady that's done my artwork, thank you very much again. And for the moment, I'm going to say thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of my valley and some of the inspirations I've been trying to come up with to redo it. There are possibly some characters I will move to the other island, because apparently it is possible to do that, as it is possible for you to bring some characters from that island as well over to the valley that we're currently in now. So I'm going to make a decision on who's going. I've already made one decision on one person that's going, purely because they get in the way quite a lot, in my view. But I will probably make a proper decision once the expansion pack comes out on that front. So, but thank you very much for watching again. I hope you all have enjoyed the rest of this weekend or what's left of it. I also hope that you have a very good week, because I probably suspect this will be uploaded by Monday. So in which case I should just say I hope you all have a very good week. Until then, goodbye for now, and happy gaming.